Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's May 4th. I'm your host. You're now watching another episode of Astroteric TV. And as I said, I am your host, the Astro Guru, aka owner of the Emerald Tablets. In today's episode, I'd like to speak about a small topic, unbeknownst to many, called conviction. Conviction. Not the conviction like, have you been convicted before in a courtroom? Not that, so to say. But we're speaking on a spiritual conviction. The conviction from within. Now, to define conviction, it'll be classified as a strong belief or opinion. That is the definition of conviction. A strong belief or opinion. Now, to expound on that, this strong belief or opinion in the mind state of the person having conviction is true. Meaning they've probably done one of three things, which is investigate. They probably did their due diligence. And to have the conviction that they have when they speak to said party, they have already deemed what they have in their head correct. So, the state of mind of a person to which what he says is true. Now, speaking with conviction, because we expounded on it, that would be the act of finding someone guilty. Now, being that we're not in a courtroom, it's like, we'll just use lying as an example. If I ask you, say, bro, what time is it? And it's nighttime. But you tell me, oh, it's 11:43 a.m. I might say, you mean p.m.? Out of curiosity. Because I'm like, if it's dark outside, it can't be 11:43 a.m. And then he say, nah, I was right, 11:43 a.m. I'm gonna say, no, the fuck you not. See how my tone went up? Because you are guilty of being wrong at that point. You have misfed me some bullshit. I mean, you've misled me and you fed me some bullshit. And anytime my ears hear bullshit, my conviction speaks for me. The fire within me speaks for me. Because truthfully, in my head, I'm not saying nothing to you. Once you start putting yourself in certain positions, now as a growing member of society, I decided to refrain from certain and said behaviors. What I'd rather do now is, go for a little drive or something like that. Go for a ride. Take a walk. Reflect upon the circumstance. I like to reflect upon the circumstance. And that'll actually have you diving in. Because I've never been superficial. I'm a solid guy. So in order for me to have conviction, well, let me start by saying how I was raised was not very conducive to me having conviction. But my mother, being the beautiful soul that she is filled with rage. And I'm from New York, so when we speak, sometimes we just happen to speak harshly. But however, there's another consciousness there's another consciousness that I'm aware of within inside of me that I normally try to suppress, but however, I no longer suppress. I've integrated. So I've ingratiated my shadow. And I found out he just needed a little nursing. My inner child just needed some nursing. That's why I used to lash out so bad. Like, I used to really just like lash out. I would get mad, and if I wasn't getting my way in a situation, or I felt as if the situation wasn't going in, it didn't have to not be in my favor, but if it just wasn't going a way that I felt comfortable with, I might not have known what was actually taking place overall, but being stuck in my feelings actually had me lashing out to where I couldn't figure it out. But having the brain that I have, when I'm not in my feelings, that's probably why it's good that I'm a Virgo, because it's really actually hard to get me in my feelings. But once I get there, if I put myself in my feelings, if I say, you know what, you done fucked up, then you done fucked up. Simple and plain. But if I just simply be like, you know what, even if I'm going through a fucked up situation, I don't feel like I can't handle myself in this situation. I'll sit in it just to learn something, just to figure it all out, so I can have conviction. That way, when I speak, I know what the fuck I'm saying is true. And that's exactly how it goes. Like, speaking of which, matter of fact, that's exactly how it goes. Let's bring up the topic of the other side of the spectrum, where people lack conviction. Those who lack conviction lack confidence and most likely have a hidden agenda. Those who are afraid to look themselves in the mirror, those who are afraid to pop out, be seen, they got something underhanded going on. You know, they got something underhanded. You gotta watch them. Sometimes you gotta look out for the people that you look out for. Cause I mean, that's just simply it's hey, what they say, it is what it is, man. Everything isn't for you to have the understanding of. Everything isn't, the universe owes you no understanding. Shout out to my boy Neil deGrasse Tyson. But God don't gotta explain shit to you. As a human being, you trying to get closer to him. The closer you get to God, the less you gotta explain. Because people will see it. I got a saying, I'm not gonna say I got a saying. We've all heard the saying, I can show you better than I can tell you. And make me a believer. It takes conviction to do both of those. Not passion. You know, passion is just right before anger. You know, you be passionate about something, you can love something, but you're not gonna hurt it. If you angry, you just might even hurt what you passionate about. Like, you just seen people like, yo, I'm passionate about basketball. But then guess what? You get angry and you can't become a better player. So somebody like me, I'm gonna sit back and I'm gonna do the Kobe. I'm gonna shoot 1,000 shots a night. And if the team starts shooting 1,000 shots, I'm gonna start shooting 1,500. Because I gotta be better than my environment. It's just something in me that makes me have to be better than my environment. Or I gotta set my environment straight. And if I love my environment, but I gotta be better than it, I'm not gonna set my environment straight. I'm gonna allow my environment to be what it is. Because I can change my environment. But that's the end of that, man. I just wanted to touch on conviction one time for y'all. And I'll be back with another video on complaining. Because we don't complain, we make change. High for